Hello everybody and welcome back. I am the Sovereign and this is my court. If you have yet to or simply forgot to hit the subscribe button, please consider doing so before you leave our kingdom so that you do not miss out on any pageant discussions or outside tea or gossip that I may be discussing. Yes, I do talk about things outside of pageantry. Click the links above if you've never seen that before, and definitely look out for the video that I just did on Passport Bros, because turns out there's American men going overseas to snatch your women, thinking that your women have lower standards than the women here in the United States, because apparently Brazilians and Filipinas are so easy. I know that they're not, but still, it's a silly idea and it's a silly thought, and I would love to hear what my very foreign audience would have to say about these American men thinking that Filipinas or Thai women or Vietnamese women are so docile and they're such pushovers that they would tolerate just about anything. I just have a feeling that they won't. Either way, go find the other videos outside of pageantry, even though today is definitely pageantry. So, as most of us know, Miss Universe came under new ownership. We have a trans woman in control at the helm of the Miss Universe organization, and she has a lot of really big dreams and goals and lofty aspirations for the competition and the competitors, and that is great. I think it's great to always have new blood come in and give new ideas and a fresh perspective. So I think Anne is kind of a breath of fresh air, really. Now, this is my first time speaking on the transition because I really wanted to give her the opportunity to show us what she's got. I wanted to give her a chance before we start criticizing her, before we start saying, oh, this is wrong or you're changing this. I wanted to kind of see how things would develop. Now, there are good and bad in this new transition, as we have all witnessed. In taking in this fresh blood, it is great to have a woman that's owning the Miss Universe competition and a trans woman at that, giving that sort of representation. That is phenomenal, and I love to see Miss Universe really breaking boundaries and barriers and showcasing that they're more than just a pretty girl pageant. When Anne took over, we didn't know what to expect, and one of the first things that we really saw was her overhauling how she distributed or controlled the franchises and having all of the different franchises be up for bidding wars to see who was willing to bid the most for a franchise and who was willing to take over certain franchises. And resulting from this sort of bidding war that the new company started, we have seen different franchises be dropped from different countries. Certain countries are no longer willing to participate in the Miss Universe organization. And that, to me, is a big problem, because Miss Universe is not amongst the pageants that has the most competitors, and that should be something that the Miss Universe organization as a whole is trying to rectify. They should be attempting to expand and to include more countries, to be as globally diverse as possible. So when I see franchises being dropped, a lot of us as fans, we start to panic, because this obviously has very serious implications for the Miss Universe organization and the competition that we love. I understand wanting to give other organizations the opportunity to own a franchise, but there has to be a certain level of respect and loyalty to the organizations that have consistently and repeatedly brought very good competitors in competition. If someone has held their franchise for 10 years, I think they're owed at least a little bit of loyalty. I think it's the decent thing to do, is show them the respect that they have given through their loyalty to the Miss Universe organization. And so I was not exactly the happiest when I see how unhappy some of these franchise owners and other businesses were with their treatment. It is difficult taking over such an immense organization, and there's a lot of factors that have to be handled. There's directors from literally every corner of the globe that you have to communicate with, that you have to deal with. And this is one thing I'm going to say in this video, I don't think Anne has the necessary team behind her to help her facilitate this transition and really grow the organization. Anne has a lot of very lofty ambitions and goals. There is no way she can do it by herself. And as you know, being who I am, I understand how difficult it can be. I have my finger in a lot of different things, and I would love to have a team behind me or have help. And that's something that I was discussing with a friend today, is like even having an editor. Between having Discord and having Instagram and Twitter and different YouTube channels and different videos with different subjects and all the behind the scenes mechanisms that I have to deal with, it would be great to have a team. I could not imagine Anne trying to deal with all these directors and all these different issues and overhauling the organization all by herself. It's just not possible. And in regards to the team aspect, we are seeing team members, long-term team members of the Miss Universe organization dropping like flies, whether they're being replaced or voluntarily resigning. It's a big loss to be losing some of the veteran staff members that have helped the Miss Universe organization along in this pathway into becoming what it is. The Miss Universe organization under IMG really started to thrive and really started to focus on women's empowerment and really revamped the competition in a way that was more appealing to women. And I think that IMG was able to do that because of their very educated and extensive team. And like I said, I don't think she possesses that team, though she has these lofty goals, all those many goals. It requires a lot of people that I don't think she has the manpower to do it. And one thing she really is good at is implementing a very iconic and visible reign for the current Miss Universe. I have seen Arbany all over the place doing photo shoots, doing glam shoots. She's giving speeches. She's just out there, along with also inviting her runners up to go with her. So she kind of has a court. That is amazing. That's one thing I always said Miss Earth did right, was to have a court of queens. You have multiple queens out there, which means you also have the backing of those multiple countries that are traveling along with Miss Universe. That is a great thing that she has really been taking care of the crowned Miss Universe and flying her all over the place and giving her that exposure. And I think that's something that Anne likes. And one aspect that she's good at is the exposure part. Anne is really good at making Miss Universe look great. She's really good at getting Miss Universe exposure. But if she's going to focus on that, then there has to be somebody behind the scenes or back in the United States or doing all the rest of the work, handling the franchise owners, handling the directors, doing these different things, even when it comes to creative aspects of formulating the next Miss Universe competition and coordinating the different staging plans and the countries and the audience. Somebody else has to be able to handle that while Anne is out jet setting. And to me, it really seems like Anne's the type of woman that really wants to reign supreme. She wants to be in control of everything, which I get it. I totally understand. But there's something I even had to tell myself. It's not possible. You see, I do understand Anne. She wants to make a mark. She wants to be important, which is why I believe she has kind of rubbed some fans the wrong way with seemingly interjecting herself into every aspect of what should be the full control and right of the crowned Miss Universe. Every time we see a photo shoot with the girls, Anne's like in the center. Even if we see an Instagram photo, Anne's like in the center. If Miss Universe does a photo shoot, Anne's coming right after her, or she went right before her. If there's a speech being given, sometimes it's not even Arbany giving the speech. It's, Anne, the head of the company, instead of Miss Universe, who should be talking. Anne wants to be in control. She really wants to push the organization forward. She really wants to be a driving force, which is fine. But what Anne, I think, doesn't understand is that Miss Universe is the queen. Anne is the empress, right? So if you don't understand how actual empires work, we can use like the British Empire. Even though I don't believe in colonization, we can use the British Empire, for example. There is the seat and head of the British Empire, but there are other countries that fall beneath the British Empire. Canada, Australia, it used to be even Jamaica was a part of the British Commonwealth or the British Empire. Anne is not a queen. She does not belong next to the queens because she is an empress. She wants to participate with the Miss Universe, like crowned queens. I get that, but she has to be kind of more than them and more than that. She has to implement the battle plans. She has to implement the target goals. She is the driving force. As far as Anne's concerned, the Miss Universe contestants, the crowned national queens, and Miss Universe herself are pawns on a chessboard that she is playing. She's trying to be one of the chess pieces because it's fun. Obviously, it's fun. But she has the superpower of being in control of the chessboard. Miss Universe is a very powerful chess piece. She is the queen on the chessboard of the goals and accomplishments that Anne is striving for. She should be using Miss Universe and the other queens to drive her projects, to drive her goals. For example, if Anne is trying to build a legacy and make a mark as a woman herself. And one of the ways she's doing this is by holding the Miss Universe organization and driving it and making it a force for good. She needs to set a target goal. If her target goal is, for example, women's empowerment, then she needs to implement all the national queens to one common goal and have each individual queen in their country speaking on the same issue and driving the same topic, and then send Miss Universe out to garner attention, send her out to give speeches. And I'm not just talking for news channels. I'm talking next time a politician says something stupid, Miss Universe needs to be the one on deck to correct this politician about women's issues, women's empowerment, women's problems. Miss Universe should be the most threatening presence to any country, any politician, any powerful person. Her word should mean something. It should be impactful, and Anne can actually make that happen. Anne has an entire army of very impactful women at her disposal that she could be utilizing far more than just taking pictures next to them. Okay. And I don't think Anne understands the power that she has. She wants to wield it, but I think Anne herself, she needs a handler, kind of like the way Anne is the handler of Miss Universe and kind of tells Miss Universe where she's going and what she's doing. And because she has so many goals and she's connected to so many things, she can't focus on too many things at once. So she's overlooking certain things or not seizing other opportunities. She needs someone to tell her, hey, we need to set the chessboard. We need to send Albany here to give a speech on this while we have Miss Universe Dominican Republic over here having a conversation about this. And then we need to make plans to send Albany to India because they're having a women's rights protest or march. And we want Miss Universe front and center for that women's issue in support of the Miss Universe India. There should be coordinated like attack plans when it comes to these different advocacies and these women all around the world. We literally have sleeper agents in so many countries around the world that Anne could really be driving a full-on worldwide global conversation if she just mapped it out and planned it properly. This is why I call it a chessboard. You've got a girl in India, you've got a girl in Japan, you've got a girl in Argentina, you've got a girl in Canada to speak on whatever you wish and to coordinate all these different women to make it something so impactful. Miss Universe can really do so much if they just have the right team behind them. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying? Imagine how amazing it would be to hear Miss Universe Mexico and Miss Universe Argentina and Miss Universe Brazil all coordinating their Instagram lives, all coordinating their Instagram posts, all giving speeches and different things and like traveling to each other's countries to help each other out to support the same message that focuses on women's issues specifically in their continent in South America. Imagine these three queens showing up at some sort of presidential, I don't know, meeting or coordinating with different staff members of like their congressional leaders to make something happen. Imagine the power these global women could have if they just utilized each other. There's not a lot of collaboration that happens within the Miss Universe organization that I find slightly baffling. Okay. You have an army of 100 women, brand new women every single year with resumes a mile long that can speak, and you're not utilizing them. You're not making attack plans. The most you can do is throw them together for a photo shoot. Do you guys see how excited the fan base gets when we see three former Miss Universes get together, or three like contestants, Albany and Miss Universe Dominican Republic and Miss Universe Curacao are all traveling together and the fan base loves it. Now imagine if Anne was able to coordinate different queens to talk about different issues or similar issues and help each other. There's so much that she could be doing to make the organization more impactful, but she can't do it by herself. She wants to have her finger in everything. She wants to be in every photo. And I'm like, I get that. Like truly as a fan, I get that. I'd want to be there. Okay. And I totally would take some photos with the queens, but your job is more than them. Albany's gone in a year. Albany's gone in a year. And what Anne, she's still new into owning the Miss Universe organization. So it's still like probably really fun for her and really like iconic. And she's like, oh my God, I'm traveling with the Miss Universe. I'm in this. Yes. But sis, you're going to be here for a while. Albany's going to be gone, move on, probably get married and have kids. And you're still going to be there. It's going to get pretty old pretty quick when you're constantly just taking photos with the new Miss Universe that's going to have a replacement coming in a year. Anne is the empress. She does not have to give up her seat. She does not have to go anywhere. So she has to find a way to push the Miss Universe organization towards something. She is the captain of the ship and she has to steer Miss Universe towards its long-term goals. Arbany and the other queens can only support short-term aspirations, which is fine, but there has to be an overall goal that Anne is trying to reach because she's the only one that's really going to be here throughout the years. The other queens will come and go. Some of them may come and help the organization as former queens and still speak on behalf of the organization or help the organization in its goals, but right now there's no coordinated effort towards any common goal that I'm seeing. All I'm seeing right now is a fabulous reign by Arbany and some of the other queens, and even Anne herself out there taking wonderful photos. But all these lofty goals that she wants, I don't see any planning or implementation towards attaining that. And I see that it's irritating the fans because as far as they're concerned, all she's doing is uprooting established franchises, directorships and whatnot, changing things for what seems to be not the better, and then outshining or overstepping what should be the place of the crowned Miss Universe. I'm not even sure as a viewer, as a fan, of what she is trying to attain, right? I get that she's just trying to establish her dominance and herself as the owner. We get that you're an owner, but I think Anne lessening or lowering herself to the status of like just one of the queens is kind of diminishing the true power and potential she has as an owner and a woman herself. As the owner of Miss Universe, when Anne speaks, yes, it should garner attention. Honestly, when Anne speaks, it should everybody should just come to silence. Everybody should be afraid when Anne speaks because she has such power, because she has an entire army at her behest, including the fan base itself. The amount of change that Anne could drive if she really want to is kind of frightening if you think about it. If you think about it, she's got 100 women with access to millions of fans individually and millions of fans that are directly connected to the Miss Universe organization itself. There is no reason for her to be playing as if she's one of the competitive queens when she is an actual empress. She has an empire to run. Girl, I get you on a jet set, but you got to do more than take photos. We need battle plans that I'm not seeing happen. The amount of power that she's having, I'm waiting for something amazing to happen. And I just don't think there's people there to let Anne know, like, we have work to do. You have an army to control. You are our president. Those girls out there are your lieutenants and you have no generals. What's going on? We need the staffing. We need the people to support you. You need to call in some backup. And I'm saying this because I do think that Anne wants to make a change. I just think she doesn't know how to make a change. And of course, she's easily distracted, as we all are, by pretty rhinestones and photo shoots. It's very difficult being a new person stepping into such a respected organization, but she does have to kind of tread carefully because Miss Universe is the most respected pageant in the world at the moment, but we cannot make the mistake of underestimating other pageants like Miss Earth and Miss Grand and Miss World, who are still respected in their own right and who can easily take that #1 spot. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of fans are thinking that Miss Universe is on the backslide. Miss Universe is coming down in value, and Anne can't allow that to stand. That needs to be addressed immediately, because when you as a new person step into very big shoes, you have to earn the respect of the fan base. You have to earn the right. You have to earn a mandate in order for people to respect you and listen to you and stay loyal to you. And right now, because Anne is new, she doesn't have the mandate to be making such monumental changes without reason. As far as the fan base is concerned, she hasn't provided a justified reason to be causing this upheaval, this severe change in everybody's country and all the different franchises. She hasn't earned that yet. She hasn't proven herself, and that's what she should be focusing on instead of, like I said, jet setting with the Miss Universe. Besides these changes that I think a large majority of the fan base seems as unnecessary, I haven't seen, well, no, I will say that the rule change that Anne implemented, that was great. I don't see why we didn't do the age change, but that's the one positive thing I can say is the rule change for Miss Universe. She was right in implementing that. I think she should have went further. I think this upcoming Miss Universe competition is going to be really the first Miss Universe competition that is in sole control of Anne. So we're going to have to see what creative differences she has with the previous organization to see what changes she does make, if any. You guys know that personally, I've said that there's more the Miss Universe organization could do creatively to go up against competition and organizations such as MGI, who's seen by the fan base as very creative, very glamorous, very performative. It's very exciting and really should be focusing, I think, on upping the creative scale and performance ability and creativity of the overall Miss Universe competition in order to stay competitive with organizations such as Miss Grand International, who's coming up in the ranks. And like I said, Anne's got all this energy. Like, people see her as like a female Nawat, right? Even though Nawat's calmed down, you know, because when you're a new owner, you do a lot, you say a lot, you want to be the center of attention. But as time has gone on, we've seen Nawat kind of settle down, and he's become more settled in his role as the, you know, the leader, head director of Miss Grand International. Anne hasn't reached that point yet, but it would be great to see her being like a Nawat and being more creative and being the head and being in charge of everything. But Nawat has kind of learned to, he still garners a lot of space, right? He still garners a lot of attention, but he's not seen at the same level of the Miss Grand Queens because people see him more of an authority figure. The Miss Grand Queen is temporary to where Nawat is permanent. He's there forever. So like I said, he's more of an emperor. This is his empire, and he crowns the queen that is the face of it. Anne is an empress. She will crown the face of her organization, but this is her organization, and she is, you know, she is the one in charge. She is the president. She is the one pushing things along. But with all the things that I think Anne should be focusing on right now, I think a lot of the fans are just seeing her in photos. And that's it. And they're like, wait, what? What's gonna happen? Like, if you're gonna take over an organization, like, let's do some things. Let's make it great. Let's get some fresh blood in there, hire some people, make things fresh, fun, and new. Don't be like Miss World and just stay stale and the same for years and years and years, because then it will devalue the pageant. I totally wish I could help the Miss Universe organization, but I don't know what's like, so a lot of these organizations are just so adverse to either listening to different ideas or new ideas. So us as fans have to just sit here knowing the obvious, seeing the obvious, and just waiting for them to get a clue. And it's just like, you guys need help. It's just like the same thing I've been saying about Miss America for years. And then eventually Miss America just hit rock bottom and dug deeper. And it's like, if you had just listened to your fans, not even just me, your fans that came before me told you guys needed to fix something and you didn't listen. And now as fans, because we know that pageants and organizations don't want to listen, we're kind of collectively panicking because we see that Miss Universe kind of is slipping, and we don't want that to happen. Like, we want to build Miss Universe up. We want Miss Universe to stay great. I'm just hoping that Anne is not reluctant to taking on fresh ideas, new people, taking a chance and getting some help. I know that she is a powerful, headstrong leader. I totally understand that, but she cannot carry this weight on her own, especially if she wants to enjoy her time as a leader and still, you know, make interpersonal relationships with the queens themselves. Like, I would want to do that myself too, but then you need good hands to take on the rest of the business. And right now, it doesn't seem like she has that, but she's still in transition, so we don't know. She's still getting used to things. She's still familiarizing herself with the people that are already there. She's trying to get a handle on how things work. Maybe not necessarily realizing how demanding this fan base is, which is another reason why you need somebody with you that understands the fan base and the world of which you have stepped, because it's not all rainbows, glitter, unicorns, sunshines, and rhinestones and crowns. Like, you need someone that can handle and do the dirty work and the hard stuff, and sometimes tell you what you don't want to hear. Believe you me, I'm a headstrong queen, but I take criticism left and right. In fact, I ask for it, okay? I ask for it. And so I'm hoping that Anne can find those people to help her to right the ship of Miss Universe, because we do not want to see any slippage in the respect, notoriety, or participation from the other countries when it comes to the Miss Universe organization. We want to prop this organization up and bring the other organizations in as well. We want to keep them all really good, because obviously the more the merrier, right? I love being able to watch Miss Earth and Miss Grand and still have Miss Universe. Like, I need a year-round pageant system. I want to watch it all the time. We cannot let Miss Universe slip. So hopefully Anne is just getting her pieces in check. She's getting her board right and tight, and she's ready to set some lofty goals and achieve her dreams and make her mark as the woman that she is. In the comment section below, let me know what you think about the new owner taking over the organization, the changes that she's implemented, what you think would be good ideas to continue to build the Miss Universe organization. Do you guys have any thoughts regarding the franchise situations and bidding wars that have been happening within, you know, I guess the world. I can't just say the organization. There's different nations all over the world that have been having issues and dropping franchises. Like, what do we do? How do we right the ship? Suggestions for Anne. Tell me your comments in the comment section below. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Like, of course, do that. And remember, I love you and I will miss you, but you know I will be back in a future video. Bye!